Thank you so much. Welcome to our monthly coffee and conversation by Women in Business. I'm Nompilo Gumede, and it's so lovely to have you with us here today. And I would like to introduce our guest. Our guest is Vumile Msweli. She is the CEO of Hesed Consulting, which is a coaching and consulting firm specializing in commerce acceleration, career coaching, women empowerment, facilitating and training in the African continent, with presence in Nigeria, South Africa, Botswana, Kenya, United States of America, Rwanda, and affiliates in Namibia, Ghana, and Uganda. She has coached in multinationals such as Google, Absa, Investec Private Bank, Silica, F&B, Vodacom, and Anglo American. We are so excited to actually have Coach Vumi today to share her pearls of wisdom. I'd like to disclose that she's also my coach who helped me to navigate the way out of corporates. And when things were not easy in corporates, Coach Vumi was there for me. I'd like to thank Ali Engelberg, who introduced me to Coach Vumi in 2020, who made us think and re-strategize our corporate strategies and our small business strategies. So I'd like to welcome you on the Women in Business platform, Coach Vumi, to just share with us what's in your heart. And as women in business, we're always hungry to grow and develop to be better than how we were. And I believe that we're going to leave this call and this chat revived because of what you have to share with us. So over to you. Welcome to Women in Business. Boo, 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 boo.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm on Instagram and I'm on YouTube. I hope my voice isn't echoing. Is the sound okay? Is everyone comfortable? Okay, I think Nompilo, you're gonna have to mute me on your laptop, so there's a bit of an echo. Happy days. Awesome. Welcome, everybody. And the title of my conversation today is Career Secrets. Oh, okay, it's not working. Let me mute here. Oh, I don't know how to do this. Echo, there's a constant echo. Guys, can you hear me now, or is the echo still continuing?
Still a bad echo.
A very bad echo.
Okay, maybe, I'm so sorry to my Instagram people. Can we just focus on the Zoom because it will be recorded for our YouTube channel?
Okay, bye-bye, Instagram land. What you could try, Nompilo, is to perhaps put down the volume on your phone. Okay, I think that's better.
The volume on my phone is off.
Okay, I think that's better. I think the echo's gone now. Nope, still there. Okay, bye, Instagram. Okay, so let's, if maybe Nompilo, what you can do is share the link for Zoom. I'll leave. You can share the link for Zoom on thing, and you guys can join us on Zoom. Bye, everybody.
Okay, I'll send you the Zoom.
Just put it in the chat and then everyone can join there. And I will continue the conversation on Zoom.
Okay, cool. I'll share it just now.
Happy days. Awesome. Hello, everybody in Zoom land. So the conversation today for me is something I'm actually quite excited about. It's going to be short, it's going to be punchy, but I think it's going to be very, very critical for us to really delve into. And the conversation really is around what I call career secrets. It's around what I call career secrets. And as we know, anything that's a secret is something that is not necessarily always public knowledge. It's not always necessarily something that everybody knows. So before I kick off, if you haven't already, ladies, grab a drink, Let me know what you're hoping to learn. Let me know what location you are actually joining from. Are you in Howick? Are you in Hilton? Where are you? I know most of us are going to be from KZN, my home province, which makes me very, very happy. But please let me know where you're joining from, what location, what do you hope to learn? And if you haven't already, grab a paper and pen, because hopefully there'll be some notes for you, things that you haven't thought about that you're going to want to utilize in the future. So that's my first kickoff. The second piece I want you to know is that this session is very interactive. Okay, it's not me just speaking, it's a conversation between the two of us. So I want you to feel free and comfortable to really, really stop me, ask questions, and make it as interactive as possible. Okay, so without further ado, a little bit about tonight. I've done the welcome. We're going to delve into career secrets and business secrets. There's a little bit of a surprise at the end. And if you have any questions, there is some section for that, but feel free to stop me throughout should you have any questions throughout our actual conversation. So a little bit about me. Thank you so much, Nabila, for that very, very kind introduction. As mentioned, my name is Vumile Msweli, and I come from, fun fact, the smallest township in the Southern Hemisphere, in the city of Durban, a township called Chesterville. That's where I'm from. And for my sins, I studied accounting. It's okay, we are all reformed, says the lady with the pink lipstick now. And what in essence I did is I had a very colorful career. Okay, so I started out at the call center, and by the time I was 24, sitting at Exco, reporting to the CEO, and really, really having had a very, very thriving career that I left at corporate at 30. When I left, I worked for a company called Vodafone. Vodafone owns Vodacom in South Africa. And I was an executive there running Africa and service strategy and operations. And I went to focus full-time on my business. So I understand the plight of being a woman in corporate, and I understand the challenges of being a female entrepreneur. I've had my business now for 12 years. I've been working on it for about 7 years. And we started out in South Africa, and we've grown across the continent as well as the globe. And what we in essence do is we connect people from where they are to where it is that they're wanting to be in their careers. That is what we do full time. We work with everyone from you to women in Google, MTN, you think of it, we've probably worked with them. And everything that I have learned is going to be somewhat revealed a little bit today, where I'm going to share a few secrets. Okay, so I hope you enjoy it. I'm seeing that Sherry is joining us from Howick, Renee is joining us from Pietermaritzburg, Rashmi is in Maryville. Awesome, awesome, helping to expand. Oh, to neighboring countries. Rashmi, we should talk, because I'm in Botswana as well as in Rwanda, so a bit of East African work as well, and some work in Uganda. Happy days. So, ladies, if you haven't already, if you do have your career journal, I know some of you was DMing me about, can we use your journal? You can use the journal for some of these, and I'll be picking a lot of work from the journal from June, as well as a few things from August. So if you want to make your notes in your career journal, feel free to do so. Otherwise, any journal you've got is absolutely fine. Happy days. Let us kick off, ladies. Is everybody ready to learn? Everyone's got their notes. Everyone's got their drink. Is everyone ready to learn? My shooters from Belito, Nolwazi. Everyone's ready. Am I seeing some thumbs up? Yes, 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 yes. Awesome. Happy days. Let us kick off. So, ladies, whether you are an entrepreneur or whether you are in corporate, my question to you is, why you? Why do you deserve the promotion? Why do you deserve the sale? Why you? Let's imagine you're not a unique snowflake, right? What about the value that you bring is what people are going to be able to pay for and be willing to pay for that value? Let me know in the chat, why you? So I'm going to kick off with myself, right? I'm a career coach. There are thousands of career coaches across the world. I know why people come to me. People come to me when they're not looking for someone who's going to be a psychologist. People come to me when they're wanting practical, easy advice. People come to me because of relatability. People come to me because of international experience. People come to me because I understand the African context. That is usually why people are going to come to me. And that is the value that I'm going to bring. So my question to you is, why you? Why does your organization pay you for services? Why would your ideal clients start coming to you? It is imperative, ladies, imperative that you know why you. Why you is your KFC 11 herbs and spices. It is the reason they pay. If you cannot understand and comprehend this, you will find yourself in a constant state of a little bit of delusion, a little bit of frustration, where you've got high clientele turnover. So you need to quickly articulate and understand why you. Okay. I see Sherry saying, I make it easy to understand and put into practice, and I care about them being able to do it well. This is great. Make sure you understand that. So let's look in the mirror. Let's be honest. You're not the only person who can do your job. You're not. You are not irreplaceable, right? So you're very much someone that if something happened to you, they would replace you. So your how you show up, how you do things, how you make it easier is your differentiator. A lot of the time, and I've seen this a number of times, people are under the impression that their hard work is a differentiator, and it's not. That is not what sets you apart. So if you're looking in the mirror and you're looking at your clients, you're looking at the experience, you need to understand why you. Why you? And often when I ask this question, people think and assume from their perspective, they've never actually sat down with some of their clients and asked, why did you select me? What was it about me? What is that X factor that I bring to the table? If you can't articulate this and have it verified with either people who are influential, people who are your clients, people in your organization, you're never going to know what your differentiator is. And your differentiator is critical to your success. So let's make sure we thoroughly understand this. And this becomes important because we then get to unpack, what do you get paid for? What do you actually get paid for? Why were you hired? So if you're working in corporate, you went through the process, HR process, and they hired you. If you're running your own business, your client walked in through the doors and they said, I will get goods and services from you. Why did they hire you? What problem are you actually solving for? Do you understand that problem? And when I think about this question, I'd like to unpack a fantastic case study. There was this milkshake place that for some reason, always in the mornings, was very, very full. And they weren't even a milkshake place. They were a burger. They were burger and milkshakes, but milkshakes were their number one sellers, and they didn't understand. So what happened is that every morning, people were in a rush. They're the only ones open. It was a drive-through, so they could grab a milkshake and go. And they thought, we must have the best milkshakes. But as they started investigating, because all of a sudden their milkshakes sales started dropping, well, what turned out is people were not going there for their burgers or their milkshakes. They were solving for convenience. They were hungry, they were on their way to work, and a milkshake kept them full till lunch. So when next door a competitor opened up a smoothie place, they chose that. If they did not know what the people actually wanted, they would have been able to pivot and become a breakfast joint, which started serving even quick sandwiches on the go. So they thought they were solving for one problem, but in reality, the market was telling them something else. So what problem do you solve? What problem do you solve? And if given a choice and understanding that problem, would your clients, would your organization still choose you? So what do you actually get paid for? would they still choose you? This is critical for us to understand. The sooner we understand that, the better. Because in essence, then we then can know, who do we actually bring to work? Are you the kind of person who is a show me the money? You send the quote, my price is my price, I'm not interested, take it or leave it, when talking to your clients, saying, sorry, I know my scope, I don't get paid for that. Are you one of those who are sitting there hoping that your work will speak for itself? No, my business will grow word of mouth. People will speak about me, so I say nothing. Or are you outsourced? It's just that my boss, our processes, we've always done it this way. You're constantly outsourcing. So let me know in the chat, ladies, which version of you showing up? Is it I'm only interested in the money, forget the client? Is it the silence of the lambs, I will not PR or promote myself? Is it that outsourcing a little bit? Our process, it's the way we've always done it. Who are you actually bringing to your work and your career? And it's important we understand who these people are and how we're showing up. I know I'm asking you to confess a little bit, right? For a long time in my career, I thought I was a silence of the lambs person. My work will speak for itself. Okay, I'm seeing a little bit of show me the money and silence of the lambs. Okay, let me know in the chat. This is important that we're able to understand who we are actually bringing. Because I'll be honest with you, we judge ourselves with our intention and other people through the experience. So what are you actually? Are you bringing the personal, the ability to connect? Are you personable, where you're friendly and then you leave it there? Or are you bringing your ability to connect to others, to connect to your clients, to connect to your colleagues, to connect to your industry peers so you can actually collaborate? What are you bringing to the table? Because what I'm trying to understand in essence is the real reason why you are stuck. A lot of us tend to plateau at a certain level in our careers, in our, whether that be business or corporate. We get a little bit stuck. And one of the reasons we get a little bit stuck is what to learn. We don't know what it is that we now need to learn, which is potentially the ability to connect, the ability to realize that the market has shifted and it's now consultative selling. It's no longer this is the product, buy it, take it or leave it. Or I sell pens. If you don't like pens, I'm gone. So what to learn has shifted, because what we're now saying is, I know you need something to write with, but would you prefer it in blue or black? What kind of ink? Ink gel, does that work for you? All of a sudden, we need to start learning things from our market, from our customers, from our influencers, from our bosses. We're stuck because we don't know what we need to learn. And then most of us are stuck because we don't know what to unlearn. We don't know what no longer serves us. We're doing things the way we've always done them and expecting different results and getting frustrated when it's not happening. And then we don't know what we need to relearn. There could have been things that we used to do in our business that we're not doing anymore. I'll give you a brilliant example. I was having a conversation with one of my mentors. He runs a massive hardware business that's across the globe. And I was getting a bit frustrated with where my business was and saying to me, I'm really not sure. And he said to me, Vumile, you know what you've done? You've forgotten that the business was about you. People liked you. You need to reintroduce yourself to the business so it feels like they're engaging you. That's what I had to relearn to conquer the corporate space, the company space once again. So what do you need to relearn? Because you could be getting stuck because you actually are not knowing what you need to relearn and reintroduce into your career. Why did they hire you? Was it your charisma? Was it your out of the box thinking that you've now left at the table? Okay. And you also need to know, because you get stuck because of the car you're in. What vehicle are you in? What organization are you in? What industry are you in? Is it automatic where things are just smooth sailing? It's operational. That's what it's about. Is it a little bit more manual where you've got to put in some of the effort? The car you're in, the vehicle you're in, is designed to take you there. So that is your organization. What are the organization's rules to accelerate? Some of you are trying so hard to accelerate and to be successful in your industry, in your business, but you don't even know the rules. You don't know the rules. Like, I'll do it my way. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. Who are the people in your current industry, in your current organization who are successful? What are they doing that you could learn from them? So what is the organization's rules to accelerate and for success? Don't go against the grain if the rules are entrenched. And then I'll be honest, then we've got some of us who in essence are stuck because of our environment. There's certain things you simply cannot change. There are certain things you cannot change. What can't you change? What is in your environment right now that you simply can't change? So for me, I know right now, what I can't change is when I do business in other countries, specifically Nigeria, it works better if I'm there in person. I can set up online meetings all day, but when I'm in person, I close more deals there. That's the culture. Load shedding, it's not going to change. You're stuck because you're like, no, they must just fix it. They must fix it. If they don't fix it for the next 15 years, we've been living with it for 14 years. If they don't fix it in the next 14, what does that mean for your business? So you need to quickly accept what is outside of your environment that you need to navigate around. Then you could be stuck because of things that actually you're thinking you can't change that you can. What can you change? You can change your attitude. You can change how you show up. You can change your experience with your colleagues, with people of power in your business, with people of power and influence in your organization. Then what must you adapt? What currently works that you can now leverage a little bit, be a little bit agile and adapt? And this for me is important. So we're looking at why we get stuck. Sometimes it's internal, it's me. Sometimes it's the car I'm in, the organization. And sometimes it's the environment. And knowing how to navigate across all of these becomes very, very important. And for me, in all of this, I started this conversation saying it is all about career secrets, right? It's what others don't know. So a secret is what is not public knowledge. A secret, in essence, is something that a lot of people don't know. And if we're going to look at how to be successful, how to do well, it's something that sometimes others don't know or others are not willing to practice. And we need to be very, very honest. The things that for me, I'll tell you two anecdotes for my career. The first is I remember when I was working at Barclays, two of my colleagues resigned. Two of them resigned. They were the head of business development and the head of risk management. And I was head of business support. Both of them resigned. And the secret was I was willing to do what other people were not willing to do. Vumile, what are you talking about? So there I was as a young executive. If somebody else would have said, no. To their boss, please get replacements as soon as possible. I picked up my hands and I said, I'll do both jobs. I did what other people were not willing to do. That became a secret. What in your industry right now, in your organization, are others not willing to do that you are willing to do that can be the differentiator for you? The second is growing my business on the rest of the continent. At the time, Africa wasn't as, now the whole world is like, you go to Africa, go to Africa. It wasn't like that back then. And what I chose to do by packing my bags and moving to Nigeria and immersing myself in another culture and being uncomfortable and being terribly lonely and build my business, I did what other people did not want to do or did not know to do. What right now is the secret? What others don't know about it, other people are not willing to take it there, that could be the big differentiator for you. And doesn't work if it happens only once. It needs to be consistent. It needs to be consistent, ladies. It needs to be something that even when it gets a bit tough, you're willing to go there. And if you say, Vumi, I have no idea, then I'm going to ask you to take a picture of this next slide. It's called the Johari window. Okay. And the Johari window is a little bit of, for me, a well-known secret of what do you know about yourself that you can use to your advantage. So there's the open self. This is what you know and everybody knows about you. It's a skill. It's like, oh my goodness, of course she's amazing at that. And you know you're great at that as well, right? That's the open self. Then we've got the hidden self. This is what you know about you that nobody else knows. It's your little secret. It's what you keep, quiet about, but you're like, I'm very good at that and nobody even knows it. Then there's the blind self. What everybody knows about you, but you're not even aware of it. For me, this is when we're not able to take great advantage of opportunities. That everybody knows this about you except you. It means it's a value you potentially bring that they know that you don't know. Then there's the unknown, where you don't know it and neither do other people. These could be potential skills for the future, which is the unknown self. So if you are not exposing the hidden self, right? Things you know that others don't know, it can be very, very useful. But if at some point that could monetize, where that could grow your career, and you're not leveraging it, it's of no use to you. If everybody knows how brilliant you are at something and they call you for it all the time and you sort of think, oh, it's I think everyone's good at it, you're going to lowball yourself. So you're not going to get the value you actually should be getting. So please take a look at the Johari window, unpack for yourself the hidden self that needs to be exposed, have conversations with people who work with you, people who know you well, to the blind spots that you have. So you are aware to be able to bring your full self, because this allows you to know what makes you unique. When you know what makes you unique, you know the experience you could be bringing to your colleagues, to your clients, to your boss. It allows you to give a holistic experience because you understand who's showing up. And then most importantly, you know the how, the big differentiator, that how you do it is what brings them to the table, which then allows you to articulate effectively the value that you actually bring. So I'm going to share with you a little case study, okay? And this case study is from a lady called Bukky George Taylor. She owns one of the largest PR firms in Nigeria. And she's an incredible businesswoman. And what she did, which I thought was very, very interesting, is she studied in the US and then moved to Nigeria to build a business. So some of us get comfortable in adapting to our environment. Things were cushy in the US. And at some point, she worked as a waitress. And she said she learned everything about growing her PR firm by being a waitress. Where are you learning? Where are you learning? Are you learning from your frustrating clients? Are you learning from that annoying boss? Are you using every opportunity to learn? And then she studied her environment. So because she studied her environment during being a waitress, she could tell who the big tippers were based on the watch they were wearing and the shoes. She was able to take that knowledge into another country and adapt it. Are you able to cross-pollinate your experiences into different spaces? Or are you keeping everything in silos? Because sometimes something you've mastered in one part of the world can fast track you in another part of the world. So let's say you are a social butterfly, but at work you keep it to yourself. You've mastered the ability to connect socially. It's a skill that you should be using in the workplace for your advantage. Her ability to do this actually helped her even to diversify her revenue. She then went on to build what is one of Nigeria's fastest growing apps, the Crawl app, that tells you every single weekend where to go, where the best restaurants are, how to get there, what to order when you get there, etc. Of course, she was a waitress. She understands customer experience, but she's now merging her former world with her current world of PR, where organizations are now paying her to say, listen, can we be on the app? It is being able to connect the dots. So when you know what your superpower is, you can leverage it, whether it's being a waitress, whether it's starting a PR firm, or playing in the tech space. She uses the same superpower and she leverages it. When I said to you, what is your superpower? Why do people come to you? Is that something that is securing money for you? Is that something that at the end of the day, you're walking away saying, actually, this works for me? Because ladies and gents, believe it or not, one move can change everything. One move, doing one thing right, can shift and change everything. And for me, this is so important, right? So I'm gonna give you a little bit of homework. I have to give you a little bit of homework. I wouldn't be a coach if I didn't give you a little bit of homework. And for me, it is for you to discover the secrets for you to succeed. Who are the right people you need to have on your team? Who are the right people you need to have on your team? And what are the secrets to succeed? Is it, Vumi, I need to go discover my superpower and articulate it? Is it going back and leveraging everything I need to in my career in order to accelerate? So ladies and gents, I just want to stop. Ladies, is everyone enjoying the class thus far? Is everyone still with me? Hello.
Yes, coach. Yes.
Okay, awesome. I'm seeing some thumbs up. That makes me happy. Awesome. Yes, we're here. Happy days. So my question to you, ladies, I've given you the homework. In the chat, let me know, what are you going to do differently? What are you going to do differently? Now that you know that you are probably stuck because you're looking at your environment wrong, that you potentially could be not going to where you're wanting to go to because you aren't leveraging your superpower, what are you going to do differently? And for me, I'm all about the action, right? We can talk all day about, oh, this is what other people are doing, execute. But our ability to do things differently is what I am really interested in. And I can tell you for free. I can tell you for free some of the things I've decided to do a little bit differently this year that has actually shifted how we do our business. Shanta's saying changing one's perception. That's good. For me, it was committing myself, my time, and my energy to growing. And I meet every single month with a group of like-minded people that it's a program I'm on, and it's shifting my mindset. It's shifting how I'm showing up in my business. Even our ability to open up our offices in Kenya was on the back of this. Because I always say with these talks, they're fantastic. You've walked away feeling great. But if we're not going to execute, it means nothing. So I would like to, ask you and to just consider doing something a little bit differently. And one of those things is the Career Acceleration Program. Okay. So in essence, this is a program for someone who's got a business or someone who works in corporate, who's been stuck in the same role, the same space for several years. They want to earn more. They want to command influence. They want to land a leadership role. They're ready for the C-suite. They want to start a side hustle, or they want to move into middle management. Okay, that's who this program is for. And it's an 8-week program where we meet every single week with weekly modules. You have 18 global experts and coaches from Ghana, South Africa, UK, Nigeria. I've just secured someone from the US as well as Kenya. You have a thinking buddy who holds you accountable in the journey. And you have access to myself and the group 24/7 in Telegram. That's what the Career Acceleration Program is all about. And we go through these modules. What's wrong? Why are you where you are? Why aren't you hired? Where are you in leading yourself and in leading others? Are you able to leverage relationships effectively? Because whether you are in corporate or you're running your own business, I can almost always guarantee the fact that you are not leveraging relationships the way you want to. People do business with people that they like. So are you leveraging and growing those relationships in a manner that actually serves you? The next is brand you. How are you positioning yourself? Are you doing the silence of the lambs? Or are you actually being intentional about positioning yourself and your brand? Then it's the art of public speaking, because all of this sounds fantastic, but if you can't articulate it, if you can't walk into a room and speak to, connect, speak to, sell yourself, you are leaving money on the table. Then the question about, are you actually earning what you're worth comes to is what we cover in module 7. And then in module 8, we talk all about starting a side hustle. That is what we cover in the CAP program. And for me, it's so important that we realize something. If you're going to go far, if you're going to do something differently, you have to do what you've never done before. And what this program does is it gives you access to over 18 coaches. The likes of Barack Obama has 2 coaches. The leader of the free world has 2 coaches, right? It's about, are you willing to invest and grow in yourself? And for me, it's about going behind the curtain with people who are masters in their field to show you how do you get it done. It's giving yourself access to what you've never given yourself access to before. So I'm talking about these masterclass experts and all these coaches. Are you ready to meet them? Can I introduce you to some of the coaches who are absolutely incredible? Yes, no, maybe. Okay, so then you're very quiet. It's cold. Yes, okay, awesome. Okay, let's see. So the first coaches we've got Jade Seeliger, also a KZN girl, actually. And Jade is a specialized dietitian. So a lot of us don't even know what we should be eating. We're tired all the time, and then we're wondering how we're not showing up at work. So how do you leverage and biohack your body to get you to where you're wanting to be? We've got Coach Bonnie Ladler, also from KZN, actually, and she deals with our minds. What is blocking us with our subconscious beliefs? How are we sabotaging ourselves? Then we've got Coach Dare from Nigeria, and he's an expert with branding, right? He helped design the How Train. He's worked at Red Pepper. How do you tell your story? How do you identify your brand? Then we've got one of my favorites, Kukumfupi. And the reason I love her is she's a soft-spoken lady, but she's mastered the art of public speaking. So some of you are going to say to me, Coach Vu, I can't do it. I can't do public speaking. I'm an introvert. She's an introvert who has made millions with public speaking. And how did she do that? So she shares some of her tips and tricks. We've got Kwame the futurist, one of the world's and Africa's leading futurists, and he delves into what is going to be happening in your industry and how do you start preparing for it. We've got Lionel, who used to lead the whole of Africa for Coca-Cola. So what are some of the stories and anecdotes and positioning do you need to thrive within a large corporate? We've got Busi Selesho, who I think her module is incredible. She is the only accredited money coach in South Africa, where she delves into some of your money beliefs. Some of you, no matter how much work we do, are always going to find yourself in a space where you feel broke, where there's not enough money because of the psychology of money that you actually have. So that's where she delves into some of that. We've got Papa Biz, who is the founder of one of South Africa's fastest growing chains of African print clothing. What does he know that we don't? We've got Jesse Tomlinson, who runs a recruitment agency. So a lot of us, even when we are trying to get hired, don't even know what people are looking for. We've got Samkem Hlongam, so some of you know her from TV as well as a radio, who delves into what wealth means and how you go about building wealth. And one of the modules that a lot of people found the most interesting was Aurelia Nxumalo's one. She's an attorney and she goes into some labor law. So some of you might be finding yourself in environments that could be a little bit toxic, leaving money at the table because you simply don't know the law. And she covers that. We've got Robert Bell coming all the way from Kenya, and he delves into leading yourself. We've got one of our most popular modules with Hetty the Entrepreneur. How do you monetize your skills? It could be something you're great at that you simply are not, you didn't know you were great at it, so you weren't charging for it. So that's a great module. One of my favorite modules is LinkedIn with Dr. Glory. She's been named one of LinkedIn's most influential voices. So a lot of people don't know this. If you are trying to grow your business, if you're trying to get hired, in South Africa currently, the stats are saying 78% of new recruits the past year were hired on LinkedIn. And people say, oh, no, but I'm not in corporate. I'm a business person. You are leaving money at the table. If you're trying to grow B2B specifically, how are you positioning yourself on LinkedIn? How is that happening? We then also have Andy Liba, who is an HR guru, been named nominated one of 40 Africa's 40 under 40, and her insights climbed Kilimanjaro. She's worked for Cyril Ramaphosa. She has worked and headed up companies like Cisco and Deloitte in the HR space. How do you go about from being a PA going all the way to working for the president? How does that happen? Because a lot of you have instituted in your own minds blockages in what you think should be happening. That's actually not what's happening in the actual market. We've got Zanele Japa, who I like to call the unlearning lady. So what do you need to unlearn that's no longer serving you? We've got the incredible Dr. George Akamas coming from the University of Manchester and one of the leading coaches out of the UK. We've got Nomazbulo Janga, who does Brunch with Norma, also a former HR exec, giving some insights both as an entrepreneur as well as a former executive. Of course, I will be there as well, supporting you and guiding you throughout the process. We've had Joan, the career coach, coming all the way from Kenya, sharing some insights again on LinkedIn, some things I didn't know because the knowledge is constantly changing. We've got Coach Fa coming from Nigeria. And what she broke down, which is absolutely incredible, is your executive presence. How do you show up as your best self? Are you showing up as a leader, or are you showing up as someone who's trying to manage people? And then we've got probably one of the most disruptive sessions with Talha Capri coming in from Saudi Arabia. How does someone who was a sous chef without a degree go to running one of Saudi Arabia's largest food delivery services? So the Uber of Saudi Arabia, even though he's a boy who was born in Cape Town. How does he do that? A lot of us are blocking ourselves because of our beliefs, not knowing how we can maneuver to get to where it is that we want him to be. And that has to be unconventional. Then we've got Coach Landre Olushola, voted Coach of the Year by Forbes. Brilliant coach. We're very, very privileged to have him come and do a session for us. So these are all some of the recorded sessions you're going to have access to. There are a lot of coaches. And of course, there are going to be even more coaches. So this is if you're feeling stuck, you're not earning what you think you should, you feel like you work hard, but you overlooked, you're not confident, you look around at your career and you're like, how did I get here? This is not what I signed up for. Then this is who this program is for. Guys, if you are thriving in your career and you are happy and you're earning more than enough and your business is killing it, then this is not you. Okay. So I know some of you are going to say to me, okay, I think it might be for me. So what does this mean? There are two levels, okay? We can give you access to course content where you can self-study, you get your course workbook, and you carry on. Alternatively, you can get your course content, your course workbook, you have your weekly group coaching with me, weekly coaching with the expert coaches, you have access to the Telegram group, you have access to the ebook, podcasts, etc. And it's 13,000 Rand, and this is what I do recommend. But of course, I know, guys, it is financially, a lot of people will say, yo, coach, it's a bit tight for me right now. So we've got payment plans, okay? So what we can do is you can either pay up front, you can pay in 2 equal installments, 3 equal payments, you can pay 1,000 Rand deposit now to secure it. And I'm going to put the link in chat. And what we can do in essence is this. Whoever is ready to accelerate, I am willing to meet you halfway. I've never turned anyone away who was committed to their own growth. I've had people say, coach, I can afford 2,000 Rand a month. And I will be patient and meet you where you are. Because I'm a big believer in if you are willing to invest in you, I am willing to support you in that. So if you're ready to accelerate, just a quick recap, it's an 8-week module. We've got weekly live group coaching sessions. We've got 18 expert global coaches. You have a thinking buddy. You've got workbooks. You've got your Telegram group. Okay. And before I go to questions, I just want to give you a few testimonials. From the people who've done the program, we have your own CEO, right? It was her dream. She became Woman in Business CEO. We've had clients earn enough money that within a year, they've doubled their salaries and they bought their dream home within a year. I've had clients who pivoted, who were medical doctors, who now sit as executive in corporate. They thought it was impossible. They thought it would never happen. And those are because of some of the secrets we delved into and we unpack in the Career Acceleration Program. And for me, that's why I do this. That is why, for me,
I cannot hear you, Coach Vim.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay. So if you're considering, is this for me? Isn't it for me? I've put the link in the deposit. Oh, okay. Hopefully you can hear me now.
Yes, we can hear you now.
They secure their spot for CAP. So there is the link. Feel free to use it. Help secure your spot for the Career Acceleration Program. Okay. So with that said, I'd like to open up for some questions. Are there any questions? Ladies, any questions? Anyone got a hand up? Any questions? Am I all alone? Can you still hear me?
We can hear you. You're not alone.
Okay.
I just don't have a question.
Okay, awesome. Jerry, how did you find the session? Did you find it useful?
Yes, thank you very much. I particularly liked when you talked about the secret is knowing what others don't know. And I need to give some good thought to what is it that others don't know in my industry that I can sort of, differentiate myself there. So thank you for that. It was just a perspective change for me.
I'm glad. That's awesome. Ayanda, Rashmi, Renee, any thoughts? Any insights? I see we also have Sontos, Pumes, Tabile, Tobegile.
So actually, here's a question for you, Vumi. So one of the things you said was to know your superpower and then leverage it.
Yeah.
And that's very much something that we have to do in this world as it is now. People need to know and trust you as the expert. But how do you do that when it's not in you to do that? I feel like such an imposter to come out and say, I know the way to do that. And it's not that I don't know, I know what I know. I just feel like I shouldn't have to say that because it feels like I don't know, not, there's always going to be somebody better than me. So I don't want to like always say, hey, I know these things and I'm the best person for you. So how do we get past that?
So often when we are feeling that imposter feeling, it's because we are not used to practicing or doing it. So it took me a while to be able to confidently say, I am Africa's leading career coach. Because I was like, oh, it sounds so arrogant, right? Who do I think I am that I can just say that? But in getting confident in the value that I can bring, I say that now without any qualms and feeling of, oh, I think I might be lying. And the reason for that is I have consistently brought the value. I don't have to be the best coach for everybody, but the people that I engage and that I coach, the shift in their lives is testament to the value that I bring. And when I now look at it as a case of I potentially could be doing others a disservice by not letting them know the value I bring, that could actually be of service to them, that makes me feel guilty.
Okay, so it's a change. It's a change in perspective. Yeah, just making it like they're going to miss out if they don't get to, if I don't get to help them, they're going to miss out, kind of thing.
They are going to miss out. There's value that you're bringing to the table that if you don't articulate for them, they might never engage you and know that you do that, and their lives will be the same. And I think there also comes a space in our businesses and in our careers where the money is important, but the impact is equally as important.
Yes.
So if you're not going to be able to impact other people, then why are you doing what you're doing? So you get confident in being able to say it, because the more I said it and the more I could see people showing up differently in their careers and saying, I never thought about it that way. But actually, I think I will start that business. Then I felt good. So I've seen even with the Career Acceleration Program, for me, it is shocking to me every single time that 30 to 40% of the people who join the program earn at least 1.5 times, or they get a bonus they've never thought they could get. And I thought to myself, if I had been humble about the value I bring, that little boy wouldn't be living in a dream home with his mom.
Yes.
That person wouldn't be investing and doing something else in their career and changing other lives. Like, we've got such incredible people. Like, look at the incredible job that Nompilo is doing, right? As your CEO, she's putting such, the impact is incredible. And if I played a part in that ripple, if I hadn't done my part, it would have taken longer for her to get there. You've got incredible people like Spume. She's shifting how people see their finances and healing people's financial wounds. But she was still on the fence on whether she would do it or not. And being part of that journey to know I was able to contribute just a little bit, for me is my reason for being. And every time we don't do that, we are doing the world a disservice.
Yeah, thank you for that, Vumi.
Yeah. I see some Gilsu, it does not have a question. Rashmi is like, yes, we can. Okay, any questions? Stabile, any questions from you? Pume, Sonto, Ayanda, Zamo? Any thoughts?
Vumi, thank you very much. That was wonderful. I love your energy. I love, what's coming through. Um, I'm an attorney. I'm a conveyancer, a notary public, but that's the academic part of me. I teach for UNISA. I mark UNISA. I also run a guest house. So my side hustles, are the things that I actually really, really enjoy because it's more creative. So when you're talking about all these things, about having a side hustle, knowing where you're going and stuff, identify with that. So thank you. I love what's coming through.
Thank you, Renee. I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Vumi, can I ask a question, please?
Please feel free, Pume.
How do you, when you started, you mentioned how you particularly add value, and you mentioned a few pointers in terms of career coaching. How do you sit down and articulate your own value when there's so much also that you're seeing other people that are adding, which may be similar to yours, but sitting down and maybe carving out that framework that, no, this is me, and being confident with that statement of saying, no, but this is my value, irrespective of the fact that there's 100 of us as well providing a similar service.
The best way to start with that is speak to people who've experienced your service.
Okay.
That's the best way. So what you start doing is, if you've got clients that you've worked with before, phone them and say, why did you select me? How was your experience? What shifted for you? And as people start giving you the words, you start noticing the same words coming through over and over and over. Then you say, oh, okay, that's what I do. So one of the ways I've been able to clearly articulate what do, I connect you from where you are to where you're wanting to be in your career. Is because that's what people said. No, you connected me. Like I was here and then you just took me there. I was like, oh, I couldn't have come up with that if I wasn't having the discussion. So having conversations with people who experience you online, having conversations with people who experience you in real life, having conversations with people who experience you one-to-one, and then having conversations with people who experience you from a group perspective. And then start to introduce the words that they use in a manner to show others the value you bring.
Okay, thank you.
Then the conviction and confidence comes from there because you've heard it so many times.
Yes. Okay.
You don't feel like, oh, am I being an imposter? Am I making it up?
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Happy days, ladies. Thank you so much for making the time. Thank you so much for investing in yourselves. I'm so incredibly proud of the work that you ladies are doing. I've put the note, the link in the chat for those of you who'd like to join the Career Acceleration Program. Also, I'll send it through to you, Nompilo, and I've actually extended the Career Acceleration Program, so we're going to kick it off in October. So you've got some time, but the link I will keep it open for well, I'll chat to Nompilo about how long we can keep it open. Let's see what we can do, because I love the women in businesses. They make me so happy. And you're from my hometown. You're from my home province. I can't say no. Okay. Thank you so much, ladies. So proud of you for investing in yourselves, and keep up the incredible work. So with that said, I'll hand back over to you, Nompilo.
Thank you so much, Coach Vumi. I've been receiving a lot of messages on my WhatsApp. People are saying the water recording, because what happened, load shedding happened in the most parts of Maritzburg. But definitely, we will give you feedback. And thank you so much for being with us. Sherry, thank you so much for that question, because sometimes when you speak good about yourself, really, it turns some people off. But it's important that we get to communicate with people that we work with and get the feedback, and then have the confidence to say what they have been saying. I'm glad Pume also got to mention also got my increase when I got to be the CEO, because I was asking myself questions that I needed to ask myself. And that's what coach used to encourage us to do. So ladies, thank you so much. I've got all your details for those who have joined, and I'll
I think we've lost Nompilo. So
Yeah, I think network.
because I know she also had load shedding coming up, so maybe she's gone in. So thank you, Vumi. We really appreciate your time and expertise. And thank you, all the ladies. We look forward to seeing you next time and at our next events. Take care.
Bye, everybody. Thank you.